Welcome to Drunken Yogi News. Shit to pay attention to.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war. I'll be very blunt.
Okay, welcome back. We are here with some crazy top stories. This week was wild. And we are going to start with Scalia and his death this week. We're going to start out with a couple articles here we're not going to go into, but very important to keep in mind. Scalia's last stand helped crush Obama's big Paris climate change deal. As well, Justice Scalia, gun control argument. He is the person that is standing up against Obama and his gun grabbing initiative that he's had since, well, last couple years. Has been pretty ridiculous. And we're going to go to a video that we're going to edit in, where Scalia goes on to say, "What can he do to me?" Let's see the context.
Do you feel any pressure as a result of that to vote a certain way?
No. What can he do to me? Or to any of us? We have life tenure, and we have it precisely so that we will not be influenced by politics, by threats from anybody.
Did you view that as a threat?
I didn't view it as a threat. I'm not even sure I heard it.
Okay. And we're back. So we've got Cibolo Creek, his place he was staying in. And I just find the person who found him's quote slightly weird, especially seeing how the story has changed multiple times now since he's made this quote. But we discovered the judge in his bed, a pillow over his head. His bedclothes were unwrinkled, said Poindexter, who is a pretty good friend with Obama. Not anything specific there. Yeah, you know what I mean. Suspicious there. So we've got all of this. He's standing up against Obama. He's standing up to Obama. And now with his appointment, he's no longer in his chair. Well, it turns out that Obama, and now he regrets it, filibustering the Supreme Court to stop a president from putting in a justice so close to the end of his term. Thank you for the ad. President Obama regrets filibustering nomination of the Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito in 2006, his top spokesman said on Wednesday, though he maintains that the Republican opposition to his effort to replace Justice Scalia is unprecedented. So how many sides of your mouth can you talk out of? I'm sure the next couple of weeks are going to show us. So, and we've got Obama complaining about the GOP trying to block the Judicial nominee, which, if he puts in a liberal voting Supreme Court justice, the vote's going to go his way, funny enough. And it turns out Obama's not even willing to go to his funeral, which is absolutely absurd. Even people that are close to him are saying that this is weird. It says Biden's going to be there, but the Obama family is not sure if they're going to be able to make it. So this is pretty weird. They've changed the story 100 times over since his death. I don't know. It's going to be a weird one to watch. It almost seems like they want us to see how fucking ridiculous this is. So we're going to keep tuned to that. Okay, now we're skipping back to Zika. And we've got the New York Times saying, "Prepare for guerrilla warfare with the Zika-carrying mosquito." It was standing room only at the Animal Conference of American Mosquito Control Association this week. I'm sure that's a new event. And they go on to say that, we need to go door to door. We need to have guerrilla warfare. We need to start doing ridiculous things to stop the spread of Zika. Because it's coming through mosquitoes. It's definitely coming through mosquitoes. But that's not what the Washington Post is recording this weekend. They're saying that the Brazilian officials say no scientific basis for this theory that chemicals, rather than the Zika virus, is blamed for birth defects. But it kind of seems like there is. The University Network of Environment and Health wrote that pyrofexin, which is added to drinking water, which is ridiculous that they add it to the drinking water to stop the development of mosquito larvae, may be causing something in the fatal development process to go awry when ingested by pregnant women. Who'd have thought putting chemicals that kill bugs in the drinking water might affect a fetus? This is insane. So we've got guerrilla warfare going on for something that looks like it's just chemical poisoning. But anything for the government to be able to go door to door. No more keys or cards. Technology goes under the skin. Here we go. Conspiracy theorists have been calling for it for years, and it's finally here in physics.org. No more keys or cards. Yay! We now have a computer chip that fits under your skin that can track everything that we do that we can't remove without a very painful operation. That sounds right. And something a little bit cooler on the technology side, because that last one, give me a ring, give me something I can take off. Like this. A living, breathing textile aims to enhance athletic performance. Textile production has historically been a bellwether for innovations in manufacturing. From technical improvements such as Spiny Genie and the flying shuttle at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, to recent developments in electronics and reactive textiles by designers such as Jonah. So what they're doing here is they're using a small bacterium to open and close ventilation in their athletic clothing. The bacterium reacts to heat or cold, opening or closing to cool or heat the athlete the best way possible. So this is pretty crazy, be able to take it off and put it in its grow chamber overnight to make sure it still works for you the next day. And we have a mind-controlled prosthetic arm moves individual fingers. This is crazy. We did the chip that was inserted into the brain last week to be able to do this, and now they have a chip. Reads the brain as well, and they can now, instead of just using fingers and thumb, are able to actually use the entire hand and dexterity of all 5 fingers, which is something I am losing right now because of how cold it is. And this is a really good one right here for people to know. Running helps my slow cancer growth. Here's one more benefit to exercise. Mice who spent their free time in a running wheel were better able to shrink tumors. A 50% reduction in tumor size compared to their less active counterparts. That's reason enough for me to take a jog every once in a while. They say that the reason is because the blood was flowing better. They could get the immune cells that the body naturally uses to fight cancer every day to where it needs to be to fight the tumors. So move your blood and feel a lot better. And this is a really cool article we're going to finish up with here. How yoga changes the way your brain perceives chronic pain. Chronic pain is a condition that affects a staggering 100 million Americans. Unlike acute pain, which is severe, is signaling an ambulance or an injury within the body, chronic pain lasts beyond the usual healing period to form a persistent, perhaps debilitating sensation within the nervous system. So, this is pretty cool. So this lady, Catherine Bushnell, PhD, goes on to say, imaging studies in multiple types of chronic pain patients show their brains differ from healthy control subjects. Studies of people with depression show they have reduced gray matter, and this could contribute to the gray matter changes in pain patients who are depressed. Our research shows that gray matter loss is directly related to the pain when we take depression into account. Some gray matter increases in yogis correspond to duration of yoga practice, which suggests there is a causistic link between yoga and gray matter. And as we saw last week, there is a link between meditation and gray matter. So not only can you yoga your way out of chronic pain, but you can also think your way or not think your way out of chronic pain. So they go on to say that the brain sees chronic pain in a similar fashion as depression, and yoga allows your brain to see it in a much better light, and it doesn't fix it because there's really not anything to fix. Most of it's in your mind. Once your mind relaxes, your body relaxes, and your body fixes itself. Well, that's all. Sorry if this was a little hurried this week. It is a little colder than usual. All the links are in the bottom, and hope to see you guys next week. Thanks a lot.